Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. By now, we all know that's bullshit, right? I know it's a lie now, but growing up, I wasn't so sure, and I hoped it was true. Children are made fun of for all kinds of reasons. For me, it was because I had the only Asian face in my entire neighborhood. Kids and adults called me chink and Oriental girl, and in more subtle ways too, made clear they viewed me as other. In response, I wore sweet and smiley as a suit of armor. It was my natural instinct, and I thought it worked. Hurtful words seemed to bounce off my armor of nice. Painful moments seemed to pass instead of penetrate. And thanks to my parents, I grew proud of my Korean American identity. My mom and dad taught me, in order for me to embrace my whole true American self, I had to understand and honor the gifts of my Korean roots, and I did. I loved showing my friends the red peppers my grandmother dried in our backyard, daring them to eat kimchi, sharing the Korean language we spoke at home with my family. But I also wanted to fit in with my friends with blonde hair and blue eyes, who were perceived as more American than me. And I did a bunch of things to try to make that happen. For example, in high school, I suited up in what I believed was the quintessential American uniform, the uniform of a varsity cheerleader. But no matter how hard I cheered, even within my squad, I didn't feel a true sense of belonging. So I was excited to leave my small town and head to a big university with a diverse student body and a pretty large Asian American community. But in college, I was judged as an outsider again. This time rejected by the very people I had assumed would instantly accept me as one of their own. My fellow Korean Americans labeled me a Twinkie and a banana, yellow on the outside, white on the inside. Apparently, spending my childhood trying so desperately to mix in well with white America had an unintended consequence. I joined other circles, but even after pledging 2 different sororities, I never found quite the right fit, and my suit of sweet and smiley was getting worn. So upon graduation, I put a layer over it. I wrapped myself in the full protective gear of an American journalist, and eventually, an investigative correspondent. With my reporter suit on, no matter what jewel-toned sheath dress that might be, I feel protected from scrutiny about me because I'm telling other people's stories. I can confront people who've wronged and victimized others. I don't always have to be nice. With my TV shield raised, I can push back. Once in my first reporting job in another small, mostly white town, I was covering a nasty accident scene. And a couple came up and said, "Honey, are you lost? Do you speak English?" I whispered back, "I speak English for a living, and probably better than you do." I feel bad about that today, not my finest moment, but I was so fed up and annoyed. For more than 15 years now, I've been a consumer investigative reporter right here in our fine city of brotherly love. I'm so grateful to be a part of our community. And our generous viewers often tell me they appreciate my investigations, enjoy watching me on TV. Sometimes they even ask for my autograph, and that makes me feel great. Makes me think I'm an insider now. I finally belong. But I got a jolt of reality one beautiful September day. I was walking in our neighborhood, just blocks away from our house where 2 young children were waiting for me. My husband and I were getting ready to celebrate our 7th wedding anniversary, and I was on cloud 9. When all of a sudden, as I was crossing the street at a crosswalk on a green light, a driver turned and came this close to hitting me. She and I exchanged words about who had the right of way. And then as she drove off, she yelled, "This is America." Those 3 words felt like a slap in my face. They flashed me back to every incident that had deepened my sense of other. They pierced through my armor of nice, unleashing in me an anger I didn't know existed, but now could no longer mask, especially as I thought of my kids, who look a lot like me. So after a lifetime of bottling up hurt and sealing it with a smile, I exploded on social media. Did you think that this face would not stand up against you, against racism, and against ignorance? Well, you were wrong. I am Asian American, and I am strong, and I am proud, and I am speaking out against you today. In that live Facebook video, I unloaded on that driver for a full 4 minutes and 36 seconds, responding to her with strength and venom, taking ownership of her words, "This is America," because this is America. I am American. Now, I post investigative pieces on social media that have the potential to change lives. My stories protect children and adults from dangerous, even deadly products. If you follow my advice, you could save tens of thousands of dollars. So I never thought my "This is America" video would be the one to go viral. But in the end, it had 3 million views, 67,000 reactions, 38,000 shares, 16,000 comments, thousands and thousands of people expressing solidarity and support, many saying they too were sick and tired of being judged as other. I felt so validated. God bless our modern day echo chambers, right? I was positively giddy. I shamed that driver and others like her and proved them wrong. And then a really honest friend of mine kind of burst my bubble. She said, "You think your video opened the driver's eyes to your point of view?" Seems to me her reflex was probably to shut her eyes and tune you out. Then she said, "Your level of rage and vitriol is blinding you from any other perspective. And if you care to actually reach people who see things differently, you must be open to the idea that these are not all binary issues of right or wrong." God, did that piss me off. I mean, my friend knows my experience. She knows I pride myself on living my core values of tolerance, diversity, and inclusion. So how could she accuse me of being blind and biased? Then I realized. Some people on Facebook and Twitter were also critical of my "This is America" message. They said things like, "Please shut up and get off your high horse." I think what she was trying to say is this is a free country, not that you don't belong in America. Shame on you, you made it about race. You were being arrogant and assuming yourself. Now, I had dismissed my detractors and in fact made judgments about them just as I had about the driver. In my mind, they were all ignorant and stupid. But now I couldn't stop thinking about their comments. I had so many questions, and my investigative senses were tingling. So I decided to take action again, this time to explore the other side and the truth of my own assumptions. And for this very personal search for answers, I employed the investigative tools I had acquired over my professional lifetime. I tracked down critics of my "This is America" video, who, like my supporters, came in all colors and backgrounds. I invited that truly diverse group of people to step out of social media to talk in person and on camera, and I committed to being open to being surprised. I was nervous to embark on this investigation because by exposing more of myself, I was risking further criticism and judgment. But I knew if I wanted people to be open and honest with me and drop their shield, I needed to let go of my own. I set out to share these conversations in a docuseries I also entitled "This is America." But as is often the case with my consumer investigations, persuading people to talk to me wasn't easy. Carla tweeted, "That tyrant, that Nydia, can't wrap my head around the rant that Nydia Han flooded social media with. #won't watch." I tweeted Carla back, "I'd really like to sit and talk to you about your passionate reaction to my video. Please direct message or contact info. Thanks." Carla never did. I also really wanted to talk to a man named Wayne. On Facebook, he was critical of my supporters and fueled the fire of debate over my This Is America message. Wayne and I did text message and email back and forth, but I still couldn't get him to meet with me. But remember, I'm an investigative journalist. I know how to find things. So I found Wayne's home address and showed up one afternoon. You should have seen his face when he opened the door and saw me standing there. But Wayne wasn't the only one taken aback. I was pretty startled by him too. You see, I had conjured up this detailed image of him that was not at all flattering. But in reality, Wayne's a nice-looking guy. He lives in a really lovely house, and he was there with his 2 kids, who were similar in age to my own. None of this is what I had pictured. Then I was shocked when, instead of slamming the door in my face, Wayne invited me in. But what blew me away the most was this. During our face-to-face conversation, Wayne told me he was in the middle of his own journey of reflection and revelation, and the catalyst to that journey was me. Wayne said after I reached out to him directly, he went back and watched my Facebook video again, this time in its entirety and with a different lens. And at that point, he didn't like his reflection in the computer screen. Wayne is white and said he had been lashing out on social media out of knee-jerk fear and anger. Our country's us versus them mentality had put him on the defensive. But Wayne says our interactions and getting to know my personal story inspired him to step away from the keyboard and listen. Wayne is also reaching out of his comfort zone in a number of ways. The first was to join a fantasy football league in which he is the only member who isn't a person of color. No one's saying that one action makes Wayne a changed man and solved race relations. Wayne himself acknowledges he has a lot of work to do, and it is work. But even the incremental steps Wayne has taken so far have had an impact on his life. And getting to know Wayne has had an impact on me too. I was sure we are nothing alike, but we share a lot of the same values and passions. We both love basketball. The Sixers, of course, our favorite team. We're both working parents with upside-down schedules who want the best for our children, and neither of us is ignorant or stupid. Wayne and I don't suddenly see eye to eye on everything, but we can at least discuss difficult issues, and more surprises are uncovered every time we talk. And Wayne is just one of many people who've revealed to me a different truth from the one I thought I knew. And this truth about my story might surprise some of you. On social media, many people made judgments about the driver, including assumptions about her race. But the truth is, I never revealed the color of her skin. As a journalist, I have to investigate without preconceived notions and listen without judgment. Now, I need to do the same as a human being. I have been angry and upset and sad for a long time about the deep division in our country. I have been blaming the other side. But all the while, I've been complicit in feeding our ugly ecosystem. Part of the problem has been my self-righteousness and my contempt for those who disagree with my tightly held beliefs, including those at my own dinner table. To be part of the solution, I need to give everyone the respect of an open mind, but that is not easy. Of course, this is my unique story. People are targets for a long list of reasons. Their skin color, religion, socioeconomic background, sexual orientation, so many things make us other. And I acknowledge the sticks and stones attacks that some of you experience are far more severe than my own, and removing your armor could mean risking your life. All I can tell you is letting go of mine took a lot of weight off of me and gave me the freedom to reply to that driver and unlock this collective conversation. I'm so relieved I finally responded. And I will continue to address and engage those I do not understand, but I am efforting a new kind of response. So to that driver who sparked this entire investigation, I have a new message for you. If you're out there, please call me, because my journey is just beginning, and I am at last aware of how I need to pack for the path forward. I still wear my sunny outer layer and my TV title. But instead of putting them up as barriers, I'm trying to use them to pave the way to understanding. Listen, folks, we don't have to agree on everything. Realistically, we never will. So convincing people to see things our way cannot be our mission. If instead we approach each other with genuine curiosity, we have a shot at opening up a space to dialogue about our differences. I warn you, even for a seasoned investigator, this is incredibly challenging. Pausing, considering what else might be true, goes against our natural instinct. But if we want to make a dent in our divide, we have no choice. Yelling doesn't work. Neither does holding hands and singing Kumbaya. We have to get our hands dirty and stop preaching to the choir. And this will really only work if we all do it together. To crack open connection, we have to talk with people, not at them. To find common ground, we have to dare to step out of our common echo chambers. And instead of clamming up or clapping back, we have to consciously choose the harder road. So what is your This is America moment? What puts you in that blood-boiling place of snap judgment and anger? The next time you find yourself there, I challenge you. Don't go to social media. Go to work. Thank you for listening to me.